Hello and good afternoon. Here is the news at noon. First, the highlights. Legacy government gears up for week-long celebration of Children's Day. Federal government highlights economic value from Nigeria first procurement policy. And foreign in United Kingdom, European Union reach new trade deal. And in sports, Governor Sanwo-Olu receives Premier League trophy, restates commitment to sports, youth development, and now the details. I am Mike James. The Legacy government has announced an elaborate week-long commemoration of the 2025 Children's Day, joining global festivities in honoring the state's young population, with the theme, Children, Our Future and Our Responsibility. The state government said the series of events underscore collective commitment to the well-being, safety, and holistic development of children. The secondary education statement said the celebratory activities will commence on Tuesday, May 20, and culminate on Tuesday, May 27, featuring various engagements designed to educate, entertain, and empower young citizens. The state government reaffirmed its unwavering dedication to nurturing and empowering the next generation, recognizing children as indispensable contributors to the state's future prosperity. The Lagos State government has announced Tuesday, May 20 to Monday, May 26 for the rescheduled public service examinations holding at the Public Service Staff Development Center, PSSDC, Magodo, Lagos. A statement signed by Director, Lagos State Examinations Board, Adebayo Orusholu, says the adjustment follows extensive planning and coordination aimed at ensuring a seamless and robust examination process, emphasizing the board's commitment to upholding integrity and fairness throughout the exercise. Orusholu advised candidates to visit the official portal of the board to print a clear copy of their sitting arrangement using the already provided username and password. It stated that candidates are required to present valid means of identification, including staff ID card, national identification number, NIN, and the Lagos State Residence Registration Agency ID, amongst others, at the venue. Orusholu stressed the importance of retaining registration details and printing examination slips ahead of examination date, and reiterated the board's commitment to delivering a transparent, equitable, and efficient examination process. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Dunhai, has harped on the imperative of enhanced collaboration between China and Nigeria in unlocking the potential of Nigeria's solid minerals sector through the establishment of electric vehicle factories in Nigeria. Dunhai stated this while paying a courtesy visit to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake office, where he emphasized the importance of closer ties between both nations in noted Nigeria in its foreign policy. In his address, Alake reiterated that Nigeria is open for business to serious investors, stressing that investments in the nation's mining industry are now focused on local value addition. He urged the ambassador to encourage Chinese investors to commit to full cycle investment from extraction to processing within Nigeria. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has highlighted the economic value to be derived from the Nigeria First procurement policy recently announced by President Bola Tinubu, noting that it could accelerate industrial growth and contribute about 3 trillion naira to the national economy annually. Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, John Enna, who stated this at a media briefing, said the policy will boost the growth of the manufacturing sector by 20% in the next 3 years, reduce imports by 30% and create more than 500,000 jobs in the short term. Also speaking, Executive Vice Chairman of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Khalil Halilu, described the policy as a game changer for local manufacturing, stressing that it could accelerate Nigeria's industrial revolution and unlock massive opportunities for indigenous entrepreneurs. Halilu said the policy could significantly increase demand for goods and services produced by Nigerian companies, adding that the initiative will translate into increased patronage of Nigerian-made products across key sectors. Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani says poverty and economic exclusion are the root causes of insecurity in northern Nigeria, warning that unless they are addressed holistically, the region will continue to face unrest. The governor stated that his administration began with a data-driven focus on poverty and underdevelopment, drawing on his experience as a former chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking. Sani explained that more than 60 to 65% of people in the northern region, especially in the northwest, are financially excluded when he assumed office. He emphasized that this reason makes many youths vulnerable to recruitment by armed groups, adding that solving the crisis would require long-term commitment and realistic expectations, reflecting on years of policy neglect. And in some foreign news, the United Kingdom and the European Union have agreed a new deal, including a 12-year agreement on EU fishing boats in UK waters. This is as Prime Minister Keir Starmer is set to host a summit of EU leaders in London. Report says some parts of the new deal are still subject to negotiation, including a youth mobility scheme. The summit is intended to rest relations after the UK left the EU on 31st of January 2020. And over to sports news. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has received the Premier League trophy, saying his administration will continue to use sports as a means of engagement, social inclusion and change agent. The trophy was officially presented to Governor Sanwo-Olu by the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of a top brewery company in Nigeria, Girish Sharma, at the Lagos House Marina. And speaking during the ceremony, Governor Sanwo-Olu said that bringing the Premier League trophy to Lagos showed that there is something positive about the state's fellowship, enthusiasm and the development of sports in the country, but more importantly in Lagos.
It's like a form that is not real. When you have the real trophy, not an AI-generated trophy, the real trophy of the Premier League in Lagos, Nigeria. It goes to show that there's something positive about our followership, about our enthusiasm, and about the development of sports in our country, but more importantly in Lagos.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, who earlier received Sharma and his team during a courtesy call at Lagos House Marina, said his administration will continue to make Lagos hospitable and habitable for businesses to thrive. Speaking earlier, Girish Sharma commended Governor Sanwo-Olu and his team for the good things they are doing in Lagos State. He said bringing the Premier League trophy to Lagos will give football fans across the state the opportunity to pose with the trophy.
I'm very pleased to be here today to present this brilliant trophy that you see here, that some of you can of course stand and take pictures next to. And for us, the pride is in the evening when we are out at the bars showing this to the actual fans and giving them an opportunity to stand next to this thing and pose next to the trophy. I think it's an honor. It took us, I can promise you, it took Guinness quite a bit to make sure it comes here a week before it's to be presented.
Sharma, who said his organization is honored to be part of Nigeria, urged Nigerians to believe in the country's potential. And that was our news at 12. Just before we go, use the walkway where available to avoid accident. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs. It's live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website. It's www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supported 3,673 business advisory and capacity building as well as market access opportunities. Well, you can get details on the Legacy Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has announced an elaborate week-long commemoration of the 2025 Children's Day, joining global festivities and honoring the state's young population. The federal government has highlighted the economic value to be derived from Nigeria First procurement policy recently announced by President Bola Tinubu, noting that it could accelerate industrial growth and contribute about 3 trillion naira to the national economy annually. We also told you that the United Kingdom and the European Union have agreed a new deal, including a 12-year agreement on EU fishing boats in UK waters. And in sports, Legacy Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has received the Premier League trophy, saying his administration will continue to use sports as a means of engagement, social inclusion, and change agent. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Moji Donoladi. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Good afternoon.